Let's do some more of a comprehensive trig review. This is part 2. So let's talk about some more problems and some of the terminology and such that you have in trig class. The first question I have, and since this is part 2, it's actually problem 20, but it asks for the reference angle of minus 7.5 degrees. Reference angles are positive. They are distances between whatever we have and the nearest x-axis. So minus 7.5 degrees is like right there. The distance between that and the nearest x-axis is in fact 7.5 degrees. So that's all you really have to do when you're asked for a reference angle. Now the next question is a word problem. It says, from a boat on a lake, the angle of elevation to the top of a cliff is 13 degrees 11 minutes. Here's your boat and here's the cliff, okay? So the angle of elevation. Now what's angle of elevation? Well, it is from the straight up. So here's 13 degrees, and I know that's not to scale, 11 minutes. But angle of elevation is what you would do to look up. Now, if the base of the cliff is 1,683 feet from the boat, so 1,683 feet from the boat, how high is the cliff? So, question is, what's this? Okay, well, from this angle, the cliff is opposite. The distance to the cliff is adjacent. So if we take the tangent of 13 degrees, 11 minutes, we get opposite over adjacent. So here's the cliff, I'm going to call it y. So y over 1683. Well, if I want to solve for y, I multiply both sides by 1683. Cancel there. Make my calculator into degrees. It is in degrees. I take 1683 times the tangent of 13 degrees. So go into the way to type that out, 11 minutes. And you can use the fractions if you prefer, but anyway. So we've got that. And we get y is approximately 394.2276243. Now, there are lots more digits, but the calculator doesn't give them all to us. And the question actually said round this to the nearest foot, so we could say 394 as our 394 feet as our answer. Okay. Let's see, next question, number 22. What is the cotangent of 120 degrees? Okay, well, you may not know tons about the cotangent, but it is the reciprocal of the tangent. So if we can find the tangent, that's fine. Or you might really like the fact that it's the cosine of 120 over the sine of 120. That might be even better because I know a lot more about sines and cosines, probably, than cotangents. Reference angle. What's 120? Well, from 180, 120 is 60. Okay? So the cosine of 60 is 1/2, but this is in quadrant 2, so this one's minus 1/2. And the sine of 60 is square root of 3 over 2. In quadrant 2, that's still square root of 3 over 2. It's positive. So it is -1 over square root of 3. Multiply both top and bottom by 2, and that'll make those fractions disappear a little bit, or the denominators. Now you got to rationalize, so multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. You get minus square root of 3 over 3. All right, number 23. Let's see what else we can do here. This one has sort of a few words attached. It has a right triangle, and we have got to find the missing value. Actually, we don't need to find the missing value. We need to find a trig function. So, right triangle, we have B equals 33. We've got C equals 55. A right triangle would give us the C angle is equal to 90. Okay? So let's try to figure out what the sine of A is. Well, when we do this kind of thing, the right angle here is C. Okay? This is opposite C, so it's 55. That's C. And then here, let's see, let me put the other one. I'm going to put B right here. This one's 33. I'm going to say that's B. And so this one must be A. And this one is length A, which I do not know. So, Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Okay? So, what is A? Well, let's find out. Get the calculator going here. Take 55 squared, so 55 squared, and subtract 33 squared. So I've got 1936. So A squared equals 1936. So what's the square root? So the square root of 1936 is 44. So A equals 44. Now, if this is in the first quadrant, like I drew it basically, we've got that. Now, the question is not what A is, but what's the sine of angle A? Sine is opposite, so that is this, A, over the hypotenuse, which is C. So sine A is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is 44. Hypotenuse, 55. What's 44 over 55? They're both multiples of 11, so you cancel that out, you get 4 over 5. Okay? So, whoops, kind of dropped that off the screen for you. All right, let's do some evaluation here. This one says the cosine squared of 315 degrees minus the sine squared of 270 plus 4 times the tangent squared of 30. Okay, exact values, absolutely exact values. Cosine of 315, reference angle for 315. Well, 360 minus 315 leaves us with 45, so that's a 45 degree angle. The reference here, well, that's 270, so that's on a quadrant, so that's called a quadrantal angle, but the reference angle there is a 90 because it's 90 degrees from the nearest x-axis. And tangent of 30, the reference angle there is 30. Now, you may not think of this in reference angles. I do. So that's where I'm going with it. Now, first thing, what's the cosine of 45? Well, square root of 2 over 2, okay? Now, it's in quadrant number 4, but it's still positive in quadrant number 4, so that's okay. We've got to square the cosine value, so I'll do that, okay? Minus, now what's the sine of 90? Sine of 90 is 1, but it's 270, it's down low, so it's minus 1. So the value here is minus 1, but that has to be squared, so that was supposed to be squared. Then I've got to have 4 times, okay, what's the tangent of 30? Well, it's 1 over the square root of 3, and or square root of 3 over 3, I guess is probably a better thing to say. So take the square root of 3 over 3, and it's supposed to be squared. So there we go. So let's square those. This would be 2 over 4 minus 1 plus 4 times what? 3 over 9. So 2 over 4 is 1/2, subtract 1, and here we've got 12 over 9, which is 4/3. So plus 4 over 3 Okay, little fraction work. So let's make this in 6. 3/6 minus 6/6. That's minus 3/6. Plus h6 is going to give us 5/6. So exact value. Okay, now let's try another one here. This one I'm going to list as 25. It says find the value theta, so find theta. And they give you a range for theta, or value. 0 to 90 degrees is where theta is located. Okay, that satisfies the statement. Leave the answer in decimal degrees, rounded to 7 decimal places. So it says the cotangent of theta is equal to 1.009187 degrees. That is not right, it's not degrees. Sorry, I misread that. Okay, so there's the cotangent of theta. So what is theta? Theta's in degrees, it's got to be there. I do not have an arc cotangent on my calculator, nor do you, I don't think. So I'm going to write this as tangent. So tangent of theta, how are tangent and cotangent related? They are reciprocals. So 1 over 1.009187, okay? So then theta is going to be the arc tan of this, 1 over 1.009187. So my calculator's got to be in degrees. Here it is, in degrees. And I'm going to take the arc tangent. So inverse tan. Inverse tan. Then I've got to go 1 divided by 1.009187. Answer is, and it said 7 decimal places, so 44.1234567. There we go, 7 decimal places. So there's a result. Okay, let's stop this one.